Yo, 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 what's going on? What's going on, folks? It's your main man, JD, in the building. And hold on, let me patch my main man, Steve, in real quick. Hold on, let me get this set up. Hopefully it works right off the top. Yo, can you hear me, Steve?
Yes. Yes.
All right,
you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes, sir. Yes,
Perfect.
sir. Yes, sir. How is it going, sir?
Good, lovely. I'm always glad to be here, man. Another great big show headed for us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Giving you guys a little bit of a backstory on today. I told Steve that we were going to do the show. Then I told him that we weren't going to do the show. Then I told him like less than an hour ago that we were going to do the show. And Steve did not explode and get mad at me. He just showed up on time, ready to go. So yeah,
I'm always ready.
I truly appreciate you, bro. I really, really, really appreciate you, bro. But yes, tonight is, of course, Friday. So that means it is time for the big show. We got some interesting topics to talk about tonight, specifically David Harbour coming out and saying a pretty controversial line from his film, Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah.
We're also going to go over the new X-Men cast, and we will decide if they did the casting right. Do we have any objections? And then finally, we will end the show with the DCU and if we believe that James Gunn's current plan is one that's going to be successful for the DCU, specifically with the debut of Lanterns this past Sunday, which we are doing live stream watch parties for on the channel. So those are our topics for tonight. I hope everybody is having a wonderful evening. As you can see, the subscriber count is blowing up, man. We've had a ton of success over. Wow. Yeah, we had a ton of success over the last few days, man. It's been ridiculous. It has been ridiculous.
I love it.
I'm very excited about that. Very happy to have the channel be successful in the way that it has. So just gonna hopefully be able to have that continue as we continue on with the show. But anyway. First and foremost, I see Rachel in the building. What's going on, Rachel?
What's up?
What's up, buddy? Good to see ya.
Good to see you. Good to see you. Yes, huge jump in followers from yesterday. So yeah, it's crazy, man. We've been popping off with these Indian trailer reactions. So like the support that we've been getting from India and a lot of folks from the States now have been jumping on the bandwagon. So I'm very appreciative of that, man. It's real nice. It's real nice. We got White Storm in the building. What's going on, White Storm? I hope all is well with you. Thank you for tuning in and hanging out with us tonight. But yeah, so everybody over on X, just want to give a big shout out to you guys. We got a bunch of people watching over there, and all of our folks on Twitch. Give a big shout out to you guys because we got a bunch of folks watching over there, and of course all of our folks watching on both of our YouTube streams tonight. Real quick before we get going, tomorrow I will be doing a trailer reaction to KGF, which is KGF Chapter 1, which is a movie that released I think it's like 2 or 3 years ago. So yeah, going to be doing a trailer reaction to that. It is another Indian film that has been highly requested for me to do a reaction to. So I'm going to check out the trailer of that. And then we're probably going to end up doing a live stream watch party for that one on Sunday at some point early in the morning. So that we can catch India in their prime time hours, which would be like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning out here. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I'm testing a lot of things right now. Got a few Korean trailers that we're going to be reacting to coming up soon. Got a few one from Japan that we're going to be reacting to soon. Got one from Brazil that we're reacting to soon. So yeah, just trying to expand the international market for watch stuff with us, along with the domestic market, of course.
Global.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah, no, I'm excited about it too, man. So let's go ahead and get this party started. Let me switch my screen up real quick so we can jump into topic number 1. So, topic number 1 on tonight's episode of The Big Show. Did David Harbour just drop a massive Avengers Doomsday spoiler? David Harbour was asked for an out of context Red Guardian line from Doomsday, and he happened to give one. That line that he said was that he says that he says in the movie. I don't know if he was just, trying to pull yank our crank, as they say, or just pull our chain. Yeah. But he said the line that he says is, "You are Tony Stark."
Yeah.
Which is very, very interesting. That immediately raises the possibility that the characters see Robert Downey Jr.'s Doom and recognize him as Tony Stark. Obviously, we don't know the context of that quote yet. But first off, I'll ask you, how do you think we're going to get an explanation for Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark having the same face as Victor Von Doom? Do you have any theories on that?
Yes.
And yes, we are trying to take over the world, Rachel.
Yeah. Yes. I think Marvel is going to play this safe, right? I think they're going to give us the rumors. They're going to give us these sort of cues, if you will, that this could be bigger than something more bigger than what we think. But I think ultimately, when Doomsday, they're going to play it safe. I cannot see them committing fully to making Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark character, Dr. Doom. There's going to be a simple explanation. They might play with this multiverse. It might be a multiverse type thing where they explain that. But I think they're gonna, at the end of the day, they're gonna play it safe. They're not gonna commit completely to making Tony Stark Victor Von Doom. I just don't see it.
Yeah, I know we've been set up for a while with the whole variant system and how that works, and we already have somebody like Chris Evans who's playing a second character in the same cinematic universe, and we got to see his Johnny Storm character in Deadpool and Wolverine. So obviously they or at least up until this point, they haven't made any sort of connection between those characters other than they just look like the same person. So I'm wondering if they're going to go that route with Robert Downey Jr. Does he just so happen to look like Tony Stark, or are we going to do some sort of interesting theory? And I've heard a theory where that He Who Remains / Kang decided that when he was trying to cultivate the universe, that he was, I guess that there was a he's seen Dr. Doom or Victor Von Doom exist in every universe that he's cultivated. So in this one, and eventually that version of that Victor Von Doom ends up causing an issue. So in this universe that we watch for the MCU, he decided to try something different and have that version of Victor Von Doom end up with the Stark family as a child. So it's sort of a nature versus nurture thing. And you're going to have that version of Tony Stark really is a Victor Von Doom. Yeah. But he ended up going with the Stark family, so he ended up being more heroic as opposed to villainous. So that's one theory that I've heard that I thought was pretty interesting. That would be kind of interesting. It would also explain some things that we saw in Infinity War and in Endgame, because there was a scene where I think it was Endgame where Tony was talking. He went back in time and was talking to his dad on an elevator, and while he was on that elevator, the dates that his dad said for him being born didn't exactly add up correctly. So obviously there may be some time shenanigans going on there. Yes. Or maybe his dad was in on it and knew something about what was going on, or that he was, going to be adopted and into his family that way, as opposed to, just natural birth or whatever. So yeah, I don't know, man. There's a bunch of theories floating out there. Yes. But it is interesting that they've decided to keep Dr. Doom's face from being
it's very
seen.
interesting.
Yeah,
Right.
they've kept it from being seen in all the trailers, all that stuff. We all know that it's RDJ, but we
Yeah.
haven't seen that yet. So David Harbour is really the first person to come out and say something that they're even gonna, address it in Doomsday. So yeah, I just I think that now that we know that, or if we can take him at his word, that we know that this word or this line is going to be uttered in the film, I think
Can
we
you
can
take him
now
at his
sort of,
word?
yeah.
Do you take him at his
I
word?
I do. I don't think he would be trolling us that deep. At least I hope not. At least I hope not. That would be crazy if he was trolling us that deep.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it would be really cool to have him unmask and see the characters, sort of react the way that they are going to react once they see that he has the same face as Tony Stark. Maybe that's part of Dr. Doom's ploy to get them to go along with his plan.
Could be.
That like, hey, like you know this face, like, and that inherently would make a lot of them trust him more.
Yeah.
As opposed to just some random guy behind a mask. So
Yes.
yeah, man, it's interesting. I'm very interested to see how that's going to end up going. If you guys have comments in the chat, please let us know what those comments are. What do you think with David Harbour saying that a line that he gives in the film is "You are Tony Stark"?
Yeah.
So yeah, I find that quite interesting. Patrick Wheeler in the building.
Patrick, what's up?
What's going on, Patrick? What's going on?
What would be interesting to me with that would be, so, the Doctor Doom that we're going to get, and correct me if I'm wrong, is from the 1616 universe, the 616 universe that the Fantastic Four movie takes place in.
Yes, from what we understand. Yep.
Okay. It would be interesting to see how, if they go that route where this is a Tony Stark, he just went a different path in this universe. Like, how did he become that powerful? Like, how did he become the full story behind him becoming Doctor Doom would be very intriguing for me to learn.
Yeah, no, I agree. That backstory that's going to create him is going to be a very, very, very integral part of the movie. And they've been very tight-lipped about that part. Like, we know that he's going to have like followers. He has folks that are going to be hanging out with him and helping him along the way. So it'll be very interesting to see how that goes. But I just saw that we got another subscriber. So
nice.
Whenever we get subscribers on this channel, we like to celebrate those subscribers by going to a special place. And that special place is called Club Watch Stuff with Us. So let's go there real quick. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Number 1,883. Whenever we get subscribers, we like to dance it out, baby. Truly appreciate you for subscribing to the channel. Number 1,883.
Very nice.
In the building. So whenever we get subscribers, I got another message for you real quick. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the family. Vin Diesel says, welcome to the family. But yeah, man, I don't know. This is I think for all of us that know some of the scenarios behind this, it's not going to be as shocking.
Yeah.
But for the general audience who's going to go see this movie, and like they're already rumoring that opening weekend, this movie may make 1.5 billion opening weekend.
Oh yeah.
So if that's the case, there's going to be a lot of the general population who will not know any of this stuff going into the film. So like those are the people that I want to hear their like gasps as they see that this dude looks like Tony Stark. So but for all of us hardcores, like, we already know what's coming. But I still hope the explanation behind it is good. It's got to make sense. It's got to be something that ties into the story and it doesn't take us out of the story because it's so goofy. I'm guessing that's not gonna be the case. Right. They've had so many years to work on this. They better not jack it up.
Right. I'm with you on that last part. Like they've worked on this for so long. The story is there for you. to follow. I can't. I hope they don't mess this up. One of the knocks I had on the last Doctor Strange movie was that I felt like they didn't do the multiverse very well in there. And so I'm somewhat, I don't want to say panicking, but about this, but I do worry how they're going to handle it, because like you talked about, like, how will the casual fan look at this? When I remember, I went to go see the last Doctor Strange with a group of people, a large group of people. Most of them were casual fans, and they had a hard time following that story. And so I am worried that maybe they might go too far. But again, like you said, they've had a long time to work this out. So hopefully they're gonna make this work, because
Yes.
this can get goofy if they do it wrong.
Oh, for sure, for sure. They can jack this up completely.
Mhm.
They can botch the whole thing if they don't do it correctly, and if they botch it, it's just going to take so many people out of it. So, I have trust in the Russos. I have trust in Kevin Feige. I have trust in Robert Downey Jr. that they were able to come up with something that would make at least 99.9% sense
Right,
when we go
right.
to watch it. But yeah, that's what we think. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below. Let me run through the chat real quick. Rachel says it's gonna keep y'all thinking. Oh, for sure, for sure. And I mean, like, we've been talking about this for, going on 2 years now, and we have some answers, but we don't have all the answers. And I think that's all that you could ask for going into something, for us specifically, like us super nerds, and especially us, like me and Steve, like, we cover this stuff now. Like, we talk about this stuff weekly, so it's really hard to stay like unspoiled for a lot of this stuff. So the fact that we're still guessing
Yeah.
at this point, and we're so close, we're less than 4 months away, like, that's an accomplishment in and of itself. So I'm definitely excited to see where it goes. Hunter Iggy, man, Hunter, what's going on? Good to see you, man. It's been a while. Um, Says, what is your thoughts on the Snyder Bros launching Cyber Attack on DCU because of Lantern's approval rating? I had not heard that. Have you heard anything about that, Steve?
I heard something about that, a little about that.
Really?
Yeah,
So are they trying to, like, bomb
yeah. I heard they're
the
trying to
ratings? They
like run the
People do
reviews.
that all the time, man. You have to take
Yeah,
the ratings with a grain of salt. I
yeah.
think once you get to a certain point, like the actual audience score, like on Rotten Tomatoes, you have the critics score, and then you have the audience score.
Mhm,
I think a lot of times I will trust the audience score a little bit more, but
mhm.
in a situation like this, you just have to know that there are a lot of people out there who are going to try to sway that vote.
Oh yeah.
So you can't really go into it like that. Like, if when it comes to, like, the comic book movies, the big blockbuster films, or something that's controversial like the Odyssey, you can't really look at the critics reviews, and you can't really look at the audience score. It's just something you got to go check out for yourself,
Yeah.
because
Oh
both
yeah.
of them are likely swayed, and definitely not impartial. Definitely not. I've seen enough people review bomb different movies that I thought were solid,
Mhm,
to
mhm.
know that you can't really trust any of that stuff. You kind of just got to trust your gut and go see it, and hopefully it's good and you don't waste your money. Like, that's
Right.
that's how I feel most of the time.
Yeah. Which is why, like, if it's a movie I really want to see, there's such a push for me to go see it that first weekend. Because I don't want a lot of that Rotten Tomato stuff in my head. I just want to watch it and make my own, kind of put my own opinion out there. So yeah, I'm with you. Like, I have to, if it's a movie like Doomsday, I have to see that immediately.
Of course.
I can't wait. I just I don't want to hear everybody's opinion. I
Right.
want to see it, and then here you go. It bothered me that it took me, because I was trying to see Spider-Man. I was trying to see Spider-Man like the day before the first opening, so like that
Yep.
Wednesday show, and I was trying to get it then because
Yep.
I didn't want to hear anybody's spoilers. And so yeah, you're right. You really have to. You really have to, like, check it out yourself and then critique it yourself.
Yep, 100% agree. And then, trust your gut. Just because I like something doesn't mean that you're going to like it. Just because I dislike something doesn't mean that you're going to dislike it too. So, I think that you have to, if it's something that you have a feeling that you're going to like, you might as well just go ahead and check it out. I do wish that they had, like, even if it was like a crazy amount, like say it was $50 to go watch, be able to watch Doomsday at home or something like that. I would probably do that, as opposed to necessarily going to the theater. But there's also that awesome theater experience when you go see something that's monumental. Like I still remember going to see Infinity War, going to see Endgame, and
Hmm. Yeah,
living that theater experience. Going to see Black Panther. I saw
yeah,
Black Panther in theaters probably like 7 times, man.
yeah.
Like I can't tell you how many times I saw that movie. And the first time I went to go see it, I was actually in Vegas,
Hmm.
vacationing with some of my guys, and they ended up, no, actually that was not. That was a different vacation, and my ex and my daughter were going to the Bruno Mars concert, and I didn't go. And I went to go see Black Panther, which was
Nice,
awesome. That was my first time seeing it. So yeah, and it was
nice.
with a packed house, like just such a cool experience, man. So like
Oh
I
yeah.
love those types of things, but it's very tough to do that for a movie that you aren't like crazy excited for, because you don't want to burn that money. At least I don't.
Oh
Like
yeah. Oh
it's
yeah.
hard to come up out
Absolutely.
of like $30 a
Yeah.
person,
Absolutely.
including tickets and snacks to go
Yeah.
see something that's kind of a bomb. So um but yeah, let me look at the rest of these comments. Rachel says midnight showing for you. Yeah, they used to do the midnight showings all the time, but
Hmm.
now they have them even like earlier. Like we're going
Yeah.
to see the Indian film Toxic. Katie and I are going to see that movie does not release technically until Wednesday, but there is a Tuesday at 5:15 p.m. viewing of it out here. So like that's like the early preview viewing. So we're gonna be going to check that one out then, and doing an out of theater reaction for that. So that's like legitimately the first showing. So I'm sure
Hmm.
when Doomsday comes out, even though the movie is supposed to release on that Friday, there's going to be the early previews on Tuesday and Wednesday for people to go see. And I think I signed up for a Wednesday showing at like 1 in the afternoon. It was like the first one that was available. So
Nice.
yeah. Very excited about that. So can't wait. Um okay. We might as well switch up to our next topic, which is the new X-Men cast. So, of course, last weekend at D23. Now, why does that seem like that was like 2 weeks ago,
That
three
seems like it's
weeks
a
ago?
while
It
back,
seems
doesn't it?
forever ago.
Doesn't it?
But yeah, that was last Saturday at D23. We had an awesome showing here, man. It was a bunch of people came out and watched with us everything that was going down at D23. But one of the highlights of that was the announcing of the cast for Marvel's X-Men movie. So we're gonna run through the cast real quick, and at the end, I'm going to, well, actually, as we go, I'm going to ask you, Steve, if you will buy stock in this person as that character, or are you selling stock for this person as that character? So,
Absolutely.
first up, let me scroll down on this list real quick. Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. Are you buying or selling Sadie Sink as Jean Grey?
Okay, let me before I give my answer. Let me preface this. If you would have asked me this before I went to go see Spider-Man, I would have probably given you kind of like a I don't know. But after Spider-Man, I'm definitely in. I am definitely in. After what I've seen out from Brand New Day, I'm in. I'm bought. I'm definitely excited about her. I believe she could pull this character off, even if they keep it going from what we've seen in Brand New Day. If she keeps that over, and as we go through the MCU, I think she's going to be a strong component for X Men.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm definitely buying Sadie Sink as Jean Grey. I think that the inner conflict is going to be a big deal for her. And I think that what's going to happen is she is currently a very angsty older teenager. So she's going to get to the school and start to soften up and become more of a hero type character. But I think in the back of her head, she's constantly going to think about all of the bad things that she did. So she's going to constantly question whether she's a hero or if she's someone else. And I think that her questioning that aspect of herself is going to be very, very, very interesting to watch her sort of go through as the movies progress. Because she's gonna go into it like, and eventually become more like, definitely more heroic, but she's always going to have that thing in the back of her head. There's going to be people reminding her of it all of the time, of, she took possession of, a mile and a half worth of people, and everything that ended up happening because of that. She even unalived some folks, even though they're not saying that. I'm pretty sure somebody at some point in the X-Men movie is going to be like, you unalived some people. So you should be, or maybe she's going to say it, and like, she's going to be feeling that guilt and feeling that having that hang over her. So I think that inner conflict is going to be the biggest thing for Jean. And then we always know that somewhere in there the Phoenix is lurking. And eventually that aspect of her is going to turn her full villain. So we're at like slight villain status now, but still a good person. She's gonna go full hero for a while, but slowly start turning back to the dark side.
She can snap.
Yep. So yeah, I'm definitely buying Sadie Sink as Jean Grey.
They can do so much with it because they've already introduced her the right way. That's something that the Fox X-Men series they didn't really do when they tried to do the Phoenix saga twice and failed, in my opinion.
Right.
Because they didn't introduce it very well. And so you didn't feel invested in that. You didn't feel invested in the journey of Jean Grey. So when they threw the Phoenix there, it was kind of rushed and you didn't feel it. They've already introduced it. They've already teased her powers. They've already teased that she could go to the dark side already before even jumping into the X-Men movie. So I'm definitely excited with that.
Yeah, I agree, man. And I love like you said, they've already teased that much. And I think that what we should do, and I know we're going to get to Adam Driver as Mr. Sinister later, but the whole first part of this mutant saga should not come anywhere close to dealing with the Phoenix. Like that shouldn't. No. We need to start diving into that, maybe 8, 9, 10 years from now is when you start diving into that aspect of that character, when we've been able to see her grow as a hero, and then slowly start that descent into into the Phoenix. And she, I think, can end up being your major villain for the next saga. There's no reason that you can't do that. Like if you're gonna start it off with Sinister, you could easily get 6 years out of Sinister easily. And then even if you want to start bringing in Apocalypse after that, and as you're bringing in Apocalypse, you slowly start seeing the Phoenix stuff start coming out. And then that's how they're able to finally defeat Apocalypse, and by Jean tapping into the Phoenix Force. But then she can't control that Phoenix Force, and then she ends up being the ultimate villain for that third phase of the MCU mutant saga. So that's how I would plan it out. Like I said, I love like storyboarding this stuff and coming up with ideas, but that's how I would play it out. That can get you a solid 12 to 15 years right there. And I think those would be the things that you would be trying to aim for. Let's see what they got. Christopher Abbott as Professor Charles Xavier. Steve, are you buying or selling Christopher Abbott as Professor Charles Xavier?
Right now, I have to sell. I'm really gonna have to see a little bit more. Again, like, full disclosure, most of the characters outside of Adam Driver, I don't know a lot about. I'll be the first to tell you that. I don't know a lot about most of the actors that have been cast. What I do know, just to look, I don't know right now. I'm leaning towards more selling. Professor Xavier is going to have to be cast very well. You're going to have a strong actor play that role. I mean, this Patrick Stewart nailed it, and I think his character is kind of ingrained in everybody's head. So it's gonna be difficult for him. It's gonna be difficult for me to see somebody in that role, um, especially not knowing exactly the direction they're gonna go with this yet. So I know they're going with a younger cast. So yeah, you probably want a younger Professor Xavier, but we've kind
Mhm.
of seen that already too.
Yep.
We kind
Yep.
of seen the young Professor Xavier already. So we've seen the young Magneto. We've kind of done that already, and I thought it was done well. And so, as we progress, as we get closer to Doomsday, as we see Doomsday, I might move more towards buying him. But right now, I think he has he has shoes to fill. He has really big shoes to fill, and I don't know if he can really carry the X-Men.
Yep. No, I'm with you, man. As far as Christopher Abbott playing Professor Charles Xavier, I'm selling at this point. Now, the only reason that I'm selling is because I don't know anything about him other than his look. So he doesn't look like your traditional Professor Xavier.
Mhm.
I don't, like I said, I don't know anything about his acting chops. I need to go and check out at least some clips to see, what type of energy he brings when he's acting. But just going off of looks, which is what most of us have right now, he doesn't fit that mold for me. Now, the one thing that I will say that I'm guessing that he has going for him is that the powers that be at Marvel looked at him and said he doesn't look like Professor Xavier. But his acting skills had to be so good that he was
Yeah,
able to win them over despite him not looking like a traditional
yeah,
Professor Xavier.
yeah,
So that gives me positivity. That gives
yeah.
me hope that, like, man, this dude must have came in there and absolutely killed it.
Mhm,
And that's why he ended up getting the role. So
mhm.
yeah, I'm selling, but I'm not selling all my stock. I'm selling like 90% of the stock, but I got that little 10% on reserve sitting in the bank just waiting.
Mhm,
Just
mhm,
waiting to cash it in. I'm gonna be mad that it's only 10%, but
mhm.
I do give him a chance because I don't think that Marvel rarely misses with their casting.
That's very
They
true.
rarely miss.
Very
Like
true.
the major parts and the major actors and actresses, they don't usually miss where you get somebody with like, oh, I don't think that they played that role well. Like the
Mhm.
major actors and actresses, I think they've nailed. So I would guess that a character as big as Professor X, they'd have to nail him too. Next up we have Samara Weaving as Emma Frost.
Love
Steve, are
it.
you buying or
I'm buying
selling
all of
Samara?
it. I'm buying all of it. I think she works. The last time I checked, she's a little bit older than the rest of the cast.
Yep. Yep.
Um, but she definitely has to look. She
Yep.
has to look. I think she'll be able to carry, and then we'll see exactly how they want to play Emma Frost in this. But I think she could probably play it whatever variant of Emma Frost they want to go with. I think she can carry that role. I think she'll have the acting chops. She definitely has the look for it.
Yes.
Um, and then I might, I think she can. She doesn't look that much older than everybody else, so she's not going to look out of place. So, yeah, this one I buy all of it.
Yes, for sure. Rachel says, all right, y'all, I have to get going. Have a good night. Tell Kay hi for me. I sure will, Rachel. Have a great night. Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us tonight for a little bit. Appreciate you as always. Um, so Samara Weaving as Emma Frost. Am I buying or selling? I'm all in on that casting. Like I said, I only really have looks to go by. But I'm definitely all in on that. I have seen her in some films, and she usually, like, it's a weird thing about her movies is that she's usually always like covered in blood for some reason.
Yeah.
Like there's like 3 or 4 movies she's been in, and she always ends up like that. And I know that's not Emma Frost at all. Like, Emma Frost is a very powerful character, very confident character. I wonder if they're going to go the way they did in some of the comic runs where she was actually a professor at the academy. So I'm wondering if they're going to do that, because if they do go that route, yes, if they do go that route, she would be like I can see her playing the hot teacher role, and then also trying to seduce Scott to come over to the dark side. So and I know that they had a thing in the comics too. Yeah, I know that they had a thing in the comics too. So you can immediately see the Sadie Sink, Samara Weaving, and Scott Summers sort of love triangle that they could potentially be getting going right now too. So that'll be interesting.
And I wonder, on that note, love triangle, maybe like a love square too, because if you add, I don't know how they're gonna do Wolverine, but Wolverine has this love connection for Jean Grey too. So
right,
you got younger characters now.
Yep,
definitely dive into that.
Yep. No, they have to. I would assume that they would do that, unless they decide to go with like X-23 and the young lady who plays her, Daphne King. Unless they decide to do that, but I would assume that if they were smart, they would go ahead and cast a younger character as Wolverine. You don't have to even introduce him like immediately. You can have him be, a movie or two down the line. But yeah, he should definitely be waiting in the wings at some point, because he's an integral character. You got Hugh Jackman now. That doesn't make any sense. So you need to introduce a younger Wolverine. And I'm anxious to see who they decide to have that role, and how they're going to reintroduce that character, as Hugh Jackman has like owned that thing for 30 years now.
Right.
But yeah, so Samara Weaving as Emma Frost, we are both buying. So here is Kit Connors as Scott Summers / Cyclops. Are you buying Kit Connor as Scott Summers / Cyclops?
Yes. I think they're gonna get him in the gym.
Yep.
I think they're gonna get him in the gym, really have him work out, get the full look. He has the look of Cyclops. Right, like I'm right now. We've been at the picture. I'm trying to like visualize the. Over him. He has it now. I have to kind of look into, before the movie would come out. I'm gonna go really look at some of his acting roles, because I would like to see Scott Summers / Cyclops return to being like that leader.
That dude. Yes,
he's the guy. He's the leader. He's the one, especially, when you think about, it's Professor Xavier, he runs everything, but he is the actual leader of the team. And so I want to see that, because even when the Fox X-Men, it was nothing against who played this. Like James Marsden.
Yeah, James Marsden.
Yeah, he wasn't bad, but I want to really kind of, I want Cyclops to kind of go back to what we had in the comic books, what we've seen in the X-Men series in the 90s, of being that sort of like leader, team leader. And so right now I'm buying it because of the look, but I do want to kind of check out his acting chops and see if he can really be that strong leader for the X-Men.
Yeah, I agree, man. Like we're doing for the most part right now, we're just going off of looks. And he definitely has the look. They're gonna put him on the Chris Evans bulk up plan, have him gain like 15 pounds of pure muscle, and he'll be fine. But the main part that you stated is what I completely agree with. We want to see a strong Cyclops. We want to see a leader Cyclops. The Cyclops that we have in X-Men 97 is the one that we want to see in the movies, where he is the definitive leader of the team. He's calling out, he's the team captain. He's the team captain. To use a sports analogy. That's what we want to see. We don't want to see him be on the sidelines to Wolverine. I don't want to see that at all. I think that Delane bringing in Wolverine, at least for this first movie, would be a good thing, because then you would have not only the conflict that you have with him and Jean Grey, and Wolverine potentially liking her too, but you'll also have Wolverine, who's extremely powerful. Also, you'd have Scott trying to keep him in line as well. So like
Mhm.
after he's already built the team dynamic, he's already shown that he's the leader of the team. Then you have Wolverine, who would come in and try to sort of usurp his authority. And
Mhm.
I think that that would be an interesting dynamic that you can play off of in the movies too. So yeah, I'm definitely buying Kit Connor as Cyclops. I am interested to see some of his, like I said, I think what I'm going to do is just go grab some highlights of all these actors and actresses and try to see what they're able to do in some of these other roles, just so I can get a feel for who they are as actors and actresses. Next up, Indy Navarrete as Rogue. Steve, are you buying Indy Navarrete as Rogue?
No, no,
Okay.
no, I'm not.
Okay.
And she's one that I haven't seen Obsession yet. I know she's played in that. I haven't seen that yet. Everybody tells me it's great. I'm going to check it out. I seen her. I used to watch. I don't know if you watched the last Superman series. What was it called? Superman and
And
Lois.
Lois.
Yeah, she was in
Yep.
that. She played in
Okay.
that, and I thought she was pretty good there. I like that show a lot. Um, at no point did I see Rogue. Right?
Yeah.
I just didn't. And again, like we said, we're limited in what their acting roles are, and she could only play the role they give her. And so, but the role I've seen, I didn't see anything that can translate well to Rogue. Right there, like I'm looking at her right now, like add a little gray strip. Yeah, I guess. Okay,
Right.
she would look like Rogue. I guess they can pull that off. So okay, maybe she has the look. Um, ag-
Yeah, I think one of the big things for me at the very least is that her look is not necessarily what I would imagine Rogue as being. So when I see Rogue, I see the X-Men 97, the X-Men cartoon version of Rogue. The reddish brown curly hair with the white streak in it. So like that's what I see. And it's hard for me to imagine Indy looking like that. And then also I have to wonder if Indy's going to be able to pull off um the what is it called, the accent. So or are we going to get a different sort of origin story and origin location for Rogue? So that's my question. I don't know if we're going to um I don't know which version we're going to get. If we get a traditional like version of Rogue that we've had, that she's a country girl, I don't really know if Indy can pull that off. So I'm interested to sort of figure that part out as well. But yeah, as far as the overall stock goes, I would say that I'm selling that stock. I think that Indy has the star power right now. I've seen Obsession. I thought the movie was good, but her in that role doesn't scream out Rogue to me. Like that didn't scream out that like, oh, here's our Rogue. Like no, if anything, it could scream out that she was some sort of villain character. But I guess like I said, she had to have won them over. She's a beautiful woman to begin with, so that definitely does not hurt. But I just have trouble envisioning her as the classic sort of Rogue. So I guess we'll have to see if they're able to pull that one off. And think lastly, oh no, we'll do Maya Boyd as Storm. Am I buying this? Yes, I am buying. I don't know much about her. I from what I understand, she's a Broadway actress or yeah, Broadway actress. Has not really done a lot of TV and films, but looks wise, she has the look. She's a beautiful woman. I can definitely see them pulling that off with her too. So um I'm really excited to see if they're able to give us a Storm who is powerful, who is regal and not just a Storm that we saw with Halle Berry back in the day, where she was just really eye candy and didn't even really get to use her powers a ton. Like nothing major, nothing serious. So I'm really interested to see if this version of Storm that we get is someone who can be like be a queen and not just be another member of the team. Like she's an Omega level mutant. Like she's not just another part of the squad. She's arguably the strongest member in the squad. So like
Right.
you have to portray her that way. So Steve, are you buying Maya Boyd as Storm?
Yeah, she was one of the ones I was probably the most excited about when they did the announcing, when they announced the cast. I do think like I got reconnected as you were talking about it. Like we talked about Cyclops being sort of like that quarterback of the X-Men, the leader of the team. I want to see Storm really be elevated as that sort of queen. Like
Yes.
they need to really elevate that character. We talked about Halle Berry was in X-Men to just be Halle Berry. They
Yep.
did some good things later on when they did the First Class, but generally speaking, they have to really showcase the full capabilities of Storm's power. Even in X-Men '97, I don't think they've done that. So
Outside of the first episode.
yeah, outside of the right. And so I really want to see that you talked about it. Like she's an Omega level hero. So like, really character, you have to showcase that. And I know you can't do that all the time. You gotta give us bit pieces or bite-sized pieces of her powers, but eventually we need to be able to lead to see the full extent of her powers. Also, how do you will they connect this with you have a new T'Challa or T'Challa Jr.? Do you make the sort of connection with this new Storm that's going to be in her early 20s and the T'Challa Jr. character that's just rumored to be in his early 20s? Do you
Right.
kind of make a connection there? So it'll
Yep.
be interesting to see what they do with this. But I am definitely buying Maya Boyd as the new Storm.
Yeah, and I like the fact that they got someone who is a theater actress to
Right.
play the
Yeah.
role too, because
Right.
you can't really sneak and be a bad actor or actress doing Broadway. Like you can't really just hide in the background doing something like that. If you're bad, everybody's gonna know it. So she obviously has some acting chops. So yeah, I'm excited to see her. I would love to see her in Black Panther 3. I hope they decide to introduce her there, similar to the way they introduce Sadie Sink's Jean Grey in Spider-Man. So that would be really cool to see her in that movie. And then finally, we have Adam Driver as Nathaniel Milbury, aka Mr. Sinister. Steve, are you buying Adam
Yes,
Driver
definitely.
as Mr.
Definitely.
Sinister?
I'm actually more excited that he was cast to play Mr. Sinister than some of the other rumors that we heard of him playing Magneto.
Yeah.
I could definitely see this. Just what you're showing, the picture you're showing right now.
Yep.
He's got the perfect Sinister face.
Yep.
Could be this nice guy 1 minute and then can just switch on you like that. I think Adam Driver definitely has the acting tools to pull off the character. So I'm excited about that. He has the physique for it as well. I think this one's a knockout. And like you said, if they do Mr. Sinister right, like he's gonna be a main villain that you can use for the first phase of the X-Men saga.
Yeah, he should be.
He should be. You're getting a big name like that, so he's gonna play a major role than just maybe a minor role here or there in this movie. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I definitely buy him as Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, I'm buying too, man. And one thing about Mr. Sinister that we saw in the comics and on the cartoon is that they could not unalive him. Like he just keeps coming back. Like they're never fully able to get rid of him. So I would love to see him sort of play that recurring villain role, even after you center a saga, like sort of like how they did with Loki. Like they centered the beginning of the the Avengers saga around Loki, and then after they had the culmination in that Avengers movie, you still saw Loki around, and like Loki did things. So I would like to see them do the same thing as far as Sinister is concerned, that even when they think that they've defeated him, you know, somehow, some way, even when you're beginning to focus on Apocalypse, Sinister is still there in the background, still doing things,
Right.
you know, still causing problems. So I would love to see it go down like that. I think that would be a cool way to keep him going. I don't think that they would bring Adam Driver in to just do a one-off. The way they said that they had been trying to get Adam Driver to do a role in Marvel for over 10 years now. So
I believe it.
I can't imagine, and I guess, and he just kept turning them down. So I can't imagine that he would decide to come into this situation and it just be some random, you know, one-off Mr. Sinister in the first X-Men movie. Like, I don't think that that's it at all. Like, I don't think that they'll be able to do that at all. So if the rumors that I've heard, the early rumors, are that the first sort of like culmination you know, event movie of the mutant saga is going to be X-Men versus Avengers.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited
having
about that.
I could totally see Mr. Sinister in the background of something like that, being the one to sort of cause the conflict, sort of playing the same role that what's his name played in Civil War.
Yeah.
I can't think his name now. Dang it. But yeah, sort of playing that same role. And you know, being the one to sort of kick things off. They've also said that they want to center a lot of the first portions of the mutant saga around the Summers family. And we know that Mr. Sinister was obsessed with the Summers family and their genes, so to speak. So and also, you know, eventually bringing in and creating Cable, like all of that stuff is going to play a huge role in this first sort of like part of the mutant saga. So yeah, very excited to see that. I'm definitely buying Adam Driver as Nathaniel Milbury, aka Mr. Sinister. So that's what we think about the X-Men cast that was revealed last week at D23. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments below if you agree or disagree with any of these castings. And if you happen to disagree or agree, let us know why. All right, let's jump into our final topic of the night, and that is Lanterns Season 1. We just had our first episode of Lanterns over the weekend. We did a live stream watch party for that. Had a bunch of people in the chat. It was a good time. I enjoyed the show. I rated it a 3.5 on our Watch Stuff With Us 5-point scale. So definitely above average, teetering on good, but I just need to see a little bit more. But my question to you, Steve, is let me know what you thought of it. Did you see it yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let me know what you thought first and foremost of the episode. And then second, do you think that James Gunn now has found a little bit of a secret to making the DCU feel connected? Because we know, and we've already seen in future episodes, that Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner is going to be appearing in this show as well. And also, we know that in the Superman movie, the ring that Guy Gardner is wearing is Hal Jordan's ring. So all those things being said, what do you think? What do you think about that? Do you think that's the way to make the universe feel connected? And also, what did you think of that first episode?
Well, I thought the first episode, I was entertained by it. It moved a little slow. I wasn't I wasn't 3.5 high, but I was 3, so still above average. And excited to see where they're going with it. They left me. I want to see where else they're going with it. I didn't expect one of the. I won't spoil it, but I didn't expect it was something unexpected to happen to one of the characters. I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that at all. But I guess it kind of makes sense where they might go with that. But yeah, so I thought the show was exciting. I gave it a 3. I thought I liked Aaron Pierre as John Stewart. I liked that they're focusing on some of the Green Lanterns that are not Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, and John Stewart. but I thought the show kind of dragged at times. And so I wasn't as high on it as you, but I do like the realistic vibe that it had. Okay, so I got into it when one of my coworkers, they wanted to see it. They kind of wanted to see it be a little bit more animated. I like the realism, and I think that's kind of what they want to, the direction they want to take the DCU in, is it's kind of be rooted in realism a little bit more. And so I do like that tone. I think that that's kind of where they're going to go with it going forward, is they're going to kind of really make their movies and really push the realism in. So I was excited, to get back to your question. I was excited about this show. um, I still I am not, they didn't move me enough to the point where I'm excited where the entire universe is going. Um, I still think the universe has a lot to be desired. Superman was a good movie, not a great movie, in my opinion. You introduced Guy Gardner, which was cool. But I need more to work. More of the pieces need to start to work. We'll see with what Clayface. I know they have some projects coming up. Supergirl didn't do it for me. And so, you have a pretty good movie in Superman. You have a good start with Lanterns. But other than that, and there's nothing else that really worked for them. So I like the tone that they're headed in, but I'm not that excited about the universe yet, just based on what I've seen so far.
Yep, I think that was very well said. I am right there with you on that. Um, I enjoyed the episode for what it is. I initially didn't really like Jon Stewart's character.
Mm.
And like I said, I don't know as much about DC, so I don't know if he's always usually this like buttoned up the way
Mhm.
that Aaron Pierre is playing him, or
Mhm.
if that's something that they're changing a little bit. So I'll have to defer to you on that.
Yeah, he is
The
kind of, he's very, yeah. I like the way you said button up. That is kind of
Yeah.
his moniker.
Yeah. And I mean, like you can tell, he reminds me of a military sergeant, like,
Hmm.
which is exactly what he is. Like this is
Hmm.
that's what he comes across as. I think Hal Jordan in this show is about what I'd expect to, maybe slightly more jerky than he is sometimes in the comics that I've read. But I can see and understand this version. The problem that I have with the show, and well, I don't have a problem with the show. Like I enjoy the show. But when trying to make a cohesive universe, I don't understand how this fits in tonally. The tone of this show is completely different from the Superman tone.
Yeah.
It's completely different from Peacemaker.
Hmm.
When they drop
Yeah, I ain't
Clayface,
seen a
the tone
Peacemaker.
of that
Yeah.
is completely different from this.
Yeah.
Like that, I don't understand how these things and these characters are going to be able to mold together into a cohesive universe. Like it's one thing if they were, sort of, if everything had this sort of this tone. Like I dig this tone. If
Hmm.
Superman had more of a tone like this, I
Hmm.
probably would have liked it more.
Yeah.
If Supergirl had more of a tone like this, I
Hmm.
probably would have liked it more.
Hmm.
But it didn't. And now you're throwing this at me, and it doesn't, these don't add up. They don't sync together. So I don't know exactly what James Gunn is doing tonally when it comes to this show. I'm bullish on the show, but his universe not so much. Now, if you told me that this show and maybe Clayface, even though from what I've seen from um Clayface, this show, and the Batman were all in one universe, I could believe that.
Yeah.
Even with the Green Lantern stuff being a little bit more fantastical, I could
Hmm.
still see that fitting in a darker, more grounded world that you have with the Batman.
Hmm.
Clayface is obviously going to tie into Batman in that universe, really well. Just with the tone that we've seen. The only outliers you have are Superman and Supergirl, which are James Gunn's two babies.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it makes me nervous
Yeah.
that he's so tied to both of these things. Oh, and also Peacemaker.
I forgot about Peacemaker too.
The three things that James Gunn is directly tied to have a completely different tone than the other things that he's produced in the DCU. So that makes me nervous. I just want to know how they're going to tie that all together, because it just doesn't seem like they're going to be able to fit together the way they are now. So I don't know. I guess we'll see.
I think as they move forward, they have to. There's certain characters they have to get right, or the universe is going to fail. Right? Like I thought, the last iteration of the universe, you got Batman, you got Superman. Green Lantern wasn't a part of that last iteration of the universe. So I think they want to get Green Lantern going. Right? The last time we seen that on the big screen, it was an absolute joke. So I think that the push was like, okay, we need to really get people to take these characters serious, while at the same time introducing some lesser known lanterns outside of the main lantern. And so I do like that they did that. I do like that they focused on Jon Stewart. They're going to introduce other lanterns there. I think you nailed it when it comes to the tone of the show. And then how it fits in with the overall tone of the universe, and it doesn't. But I guess it's just, I'm asking just a general question. Do you think that they're just trying to get things that work? They're not at Marvel's level right now. Like, we just need things that work. Let's throw stuff out there. Let's get something that's working, and then we'll worry about trying to make the tone work throughout at a later point. But we need things working right now. If we can get lanterns up and running, if we can get, we've already Supergirl. I think it's going to get to the point where they're just going to like phase her out. If we can get Superman, the next Superman working, we've heard they're going to do Batman, Bold and the Brave. If we get these characters working, then we'll worry about the overall tone after we know that these characters work.
Yep. I could see that. I think that it would be it's definitely a direction that you can go in. I think that if you had more of a cinematic universe that you're trying to create, so to speak, going into that, you have to know what the tone of your universe is going to be, and you have to put together. You would think that you would put it together like pieces of a puzzle, like it's one big picture. So you got this one part of the puzzle that you're putting together in Superman, Supergirl, Peacemaker, and that is a totally different picture than what you have with the Batman, which isn't even technically part of this universe that they've said yet. They haven't even said that it's part of it. Matt Reeves is doing his own thing. I don't blame him at this point.
I know. I wouldn't want to play part of it either.
If anything, like, they should bring they might need to give Matt Reeves the helm. And you could probably keep the stuff that happens with Green Lantern, because it mixes in with that well. Penguin was a great show. That would fit in tonally with the Batman and Green Lantern. Like I said, Clayface would fit in, but the Superman stuff is a completely different outlier. So what my only saving grace that I have at this point, the only choice that they have, you've obviously struck out with the Superman tonally, the Supergirl tonally, Peacemaker tonally just doesn't fit with everything else.
No.
The things that you have that have been pretty successful, at least for the time being, have a totally different tone. So you need to mold this next Superman movie to fit more of that tone. That's what I think. You need to ground it a little bit more. You need to tone down the colors a little bit more. You need to not have him be as goofy as he is. Like, you need to have him not be as not lacking confidence, because honestly, like, I can't see that version of Superman interacting with Jon Stewart or Hal Jordan, because they would look at him like, who is this weak dude? Like, what are you? Well, I'm supposed to be afraid of you? Like, Even Guy Gardner was pulling his card. So
Yeah.
like, you know what I mean? Like they were already doing that in his own movie. So like you have to come with a whole different type of tone if you're going to try to keep this universe cohesive. If anything, if I'm James Gunn, I'm nervous at this point. Only because you have new people who bought, you got new bosses. You just came out with a movie in Supergirl that was extremely unsuccessful. And your current things aren't matching together tonally. So you got a lot of problems going on right now. You got a lot of things that you need to fix. So I'm hoping that he's able to fix it, I think. If not, I would be completely on board with them pivoting and bringing, and allowing Matt Reeves to sort of take over with his vision, since we have some things already in the books that could kind of match that tonally. I got one other question for you. There have been some murmurs and some rumors that if they do end up getting rid of James Gunn, that the powers that be at DC, new DC, may be interested in bringing back one Mr. Zack Snyder. Would you be okay with that?
Yes. And I'm not one of these Snyderverse heads.
You're not a Snyder bro?
I'm not, but I would be satisfied with that, because I don't like the direction that they're going in right now. Honestly, I think the best option. I might let Matt Reeves kind of do what he needs to do with this, because he has the what's going on. Like, he has the best stuff right now. You got the Batman, Penguin. I would like to kind of see this sort of grungy, dark take keep expanding on that. But yeah, I'd be okay with Zack Snyder. I would definitely be okay with Zack Snyder.
Yeah, I would too. I don't know what I heard a lot of good things about the current DC like comics run that they're doing right now. It's not called Ultimates, but it's like a darker version of most of the DC stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of interested in that. So I'm probably gonna go download some comics and start reading some of those. I heard the Batman one is like amazing. But yeah, tonally, they definitely need to figure out how to sync these things tonally if you're going to continue with James Gunn, sort of at the helm. Or if he can't do it, you're gonna have to switch to somebody else who has a better vision. Let's jump to these questions real quick. Patrick said, I heard that Guy stole Hal's ring. Yeah, that's what I've heard too. I know they said that in the movie he's in possession of it. So I don't know if he stole it. I don't know how it happened, but he has his ring. So where was Jon Stewart at during the Superman movie then? Like that doesn't make sense. Like where was he at? Patrick also says, wait, another Batman? You sure, Steve?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and if you don't want to go with this version of Robert Pattinson's Batman, then you have to introduce another Batman, and then you have to worry about what sort of tone he's gonna fit. Because are you gonna go with a more more of a Christian Bale type Batman? Or are you going to go like Adam West Batman, which nobody really wants to see?
But I think they might do that, because, I mean, look, we've heard the rumor with Batman, Brave and the Bold.
Yes.
And they were looking at what was Alan Richardson from Reacher as Batman. Like, I would, and if you know anything about that series, Brave and the Bold, is kind of geared more for young people. Like preteens and kids. And so I don't know if they'll go as goofy as the 60s show, but I think you could be somewhere in the Batman and Robin territory. Right? Like But yeah, if it's gonna follow the tone that we see in Superman and kind of other James Gunn's work with like the cheesy jokes, this is kind of up his alley. I mean, having this sort of cheesy Batman would be up his alley. And it looks like they're gonna move forward. At least they could cancel it, but it looks like Brave and the Bold is gonna be kind of the direction that he takes his Batman character in.
Right.
That's kind of a yikes.
Yep.
Really
I
is.
love that. I love that. It's totally a yikes.
Right.
Like that's just I don't think that, I mean, that might be what he wants, but I don't think that's what we want. Like
No.
that's the problem.
No.
Like you can't, filmmakers always talk about making the film that they want to make. You don't always get to make the film that you want to make. You need to make the film that people want to see. You can
Right.
eventually get to the film that you want to make, but you need to sell people on the film that they want to see first and foremost. So if they can, he's got to get some W's under his belt
Mhm.
first.
Mhm.
And if he gets some W's, then you can start experimenting with some of these randoms.
Mhm.
But you need to nail your Trinity. You need to nail your Wonder Woman. You need to nail your Batman, and you need to nail your Superman. Superman to me is questionable right now. And I don't
Mhm.
think it's a problem with the actor. I think it's a
Mhm.
problem with the tone. So
Mhm.
you can totally change that. You can make that better. So it'll be interesting, man. I'm definitely willing to give him a chance, but it would not shock me if by this time next year James Gunn is out the picture and we got somebody else taking over the helm at DC Studios.
Let me ask you this, and I
Yep.
know I don't want to take up too much time, but do you think James Gunn is capable of handling your A-list characters? Because he's he's a genius at taking these sort of D-list characters and making something out of them. Like nobody knew anybody on the Suicide Squad, Guardians of the Galaxy, Peacemaker. He's a genius at taking these sort of D-list characters and making something out of them and making a compelling movie, a very entertaining movie. Is he capable of handling A-list characters, the cream of the crop?
In my opinion, no. Only because when he's had the opportunities to do so, he hasn't been able to do so. And I think that there's expectations that we as fans have who are watching these movies, who've been fans of these characters for decades at this point, that there's a certain way that we want to see our characters. And I think that he has a certain way that he likes to portray characters. But when you are creating a Guardians of the Galaxy, which, like you said, are C-D level superheroes who aren't as wild, aren't as well known as your classic, S tier superheroes. So you can kind of play around with their backstory. You can make Guardians of the Galaxy be, you can make Star-Lord be more comedic. You can have those funny moments, and you can sort of mold the perception of those characters through your eyes, through your view. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Green Lantern, we know who they are already.
Yeah.
So you can't come in and try to subvert that with what you think that they should be. We know what they are. I know what Batman looks like. I know how Batman acts. You can't come in and decide to all of a sudden that, oh, we're gonna portray our Batman like this. That does not work. That's you're segregating a group of your fan base just by strictly doing that. You aren't winning new people over because it's not going to be successful anyway, or it's not going to be as widely successful as you would think anyway. And then on top of that, you're segregating away your hardcore fans who then in turn don't want to see what you have going on now because they don't like the direction of the character and the direction that you're taking with the character. So like, that's not going to work. I don't like him or feel that he's going to be able to do what we need him to be able to do with this character. Just plain and simple.
Yeah. Well said. Well said.
Yeah. So yeah, man. That's what I think. I would love to know what you guys think in the comments below. Please let us know in the chat. Let us know what you guys think as well. Do you think James Gunn and his direction for the MCU is a correct direction, or is he about to sink this ship? All right. So, man, well, while we were doing that rant, we got another subscriber. So we might as well go ahead before we get up out of here and celebrate this final subscriber for our show tonight. Let me go ahead and switch my screen up while we celebrate number 1,884. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Oh, I see Johnny in the building. Johnny, I'm going to answer your question in a second, my man. Thank you so much for subscribing to Watch Stuff With Us, number 1,884 in the building. And welcome to the family. All right. Let me check out Johnny's comments real quick. Johnny says, just see it as Mr. Terrific. He was serious but was funny in situations. Yeah, and I think that like it's another side sort of character that James Gunn is able to nail. Like that's fine. That's fine. I know a little bit about Mr. Terrific. I probably know more than 90% of the general public on Mr. Terrific. So when we got presented with Mr. Terrific, we were okay with it. Mr. Terrific is not one of your Trinity. Right. When you do those characters, there's a certain level that you need to have them at, and that level needs to be met, or else you're going to be letting down everybody who knows who that character is and what that character represents. Yeah. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Yeah. Just can't. Johnny says, I could see Gunn do Green Arrow sort of like his super movie. Like, yeah, he could do that too. Like, this is just another like sort of side kind of character that I think that James Gunn is very good at. But the main ones, not so much. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode tonight, man. I did too. It's fun. Got some good banter going back and forth. I'm so glad that we decided to do this episode tonight, because I didn't realize that I had so many points that I wanted to talk about with this. And Steve, you carried the show as always, man. I truly appreciate you, bro. I'm always happy to be here. I truly appreciate you, man. And of course, we will be back next week. Feel free, if you'd like to join for Lanterns on Sunday, just let me know. Just let me know, and I will definitely patch you in so you can hang out with us for that. Definitely. Johnny says was talking about Mr. Terrific because we were talking about the tone mix up. Oh yeah, for sure, man. No, totally understand. And like his tone fit the tone of the movie and with the comedic elements. And I think that he could probably, the way that he was presented could probably fit with the rest of the more grounded part of the universe with just a little tweaks. But like Superman's character, I don't know how you tweak that. Like, you're gonna have to, and I've already heard that his his dad is going to pass away in the movie. So maybe that's what's going to be there to like sort of snap him into a more like serious type of character. And that might be able to tonally give us what we're looking for as far as he's concerned. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see though. We'll see. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the show tonight. Just as a preview, tomorrow we will be releasing our trailer reaction to the Indian film KGF Chapter 1. For all of our fans out in India, man, we're going to be releasing that trailer reaction tomorrow morning, I believe. Is it tomorrow morning or is it Sunday morning? I think it's tomorrow morning. But yeah, tomorrow morning, which will be Saturday night in India. So we'll be releasing that then. And then on Sunday morning, we will likely be doing a live stream watch party for KGF Chapter 1, watching the film on stream and reacting to it watch party style like we do for our shows. So yeah, excited to do that. That'll also be on Sunday morning. So excited to do that. Also got a whole bunch of other trailer reactions. Like I watched the Different World trailer. Steve,
I haven't seen that yet. I haven't seen that. I must have to check it out.
I watched that one and reacted to that one. It's in the hopper. It's already uploaded, but I just keep having to push it back while these other trailers sort of take off. So
understand.
But yeah, that one's in the hopper. Like I said, I have a Korean film that we did a reaction for already. There's another season of Monster on Netflix that me and Katie are going to do reaction for, which is going to be coming out soon. I've gotten a few other alerts, nothing like crazy major, but I've gotten a few other alerts too. So definitely going to be dropping the trailer reactions hot and heavy on the channel. And then of course this upcoming Sunday night, here in the States, we'll be doing Lanterns episode 2. I know Katie should be here for that. Like I said, Steve, if you'd like to join in, just let me know, bro.
Definitely.
But yeah, outside of that, then we'll be coming back around to doing our Dancing with the Stars, the next pro, coming up on either Monday or Tuesday. Not sure which day it'll be. It'll be either Monday or Tuesday though. And then we'll be back on Thursday for American Horror Story season 12, episodes 3 and 4. Really enjoyed episodes 1 and 2. Really creepy vibe on that show. So yeah, very excited about doing all of season 12 of American Horror Story as we get closer and closer to season 13 when it debuts on FX coming up in September. So jam-packed schedule. Then we'll roll right back around to next Friday and doing another episode of The Big Show. So yeah, Watch Stuff With Us is definitely popping. It's the place to be. I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys for hanging out tonight. Johnny, Patrick, Hunter, Rachel, White Storm, just everybody who was here tonight. Guillermo, who was here as well. Big shout out to you guys, and you get one of these. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. Truly appreciate you guys. And as we always like to end the show by saying, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, drop those comments, and just know that Watch Stuff With Us will be in the mix in 2026. My name is JD. Right over there is my main man, Steve. And we will see you when we see you. Peace and love.